I welcome you in this beautiful moment to the World Breathing Day IBF, International Breathwork Foundation Zoom event for the Americas. Let's begin with just one beautiful breath together. Let's exhale here what you have in your lungs, blow it out. And breathe it in. And blow it out, give it away. As we are here for the opening of the World Breathing Day, I want to welcome everybody that has chosen to join us from everywhere that you have chosen to give your will today to a beautiful theme that we are riding the wave of called, in this moment, Breathe Peace. That as we breathe today, that we are weaving an experience together. And I'm wearing these, having worn these particular beads in the opening ceremony of the Peace Council for 10 years at a festival very dear to me that I just came from breathing with 2,000 people in opening ceremony. And so I wear these proudly, gifted from one of the brothers that went around the world to share this one come from, that if we breathe together, dear Frank, thank you, that if we breathe together, we would literally be standing on a new earth, as Oprah Winfrey once said. I'm going to share with you a little bit of magic. Have a look here at the beautiful faces you'll receive today. As we open, know that what stands before you is a richness of breath. Many, 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 many hours and days of feeling what it is that the breath can do for you. And so there are gifts awaiting today in different beautiful offerings. And so our schedule, which you've probably seen by now, we're keeping a pretty tight and beautiful schedule in that there are different kinds of experiences, short and just a few longer ones this year. We're creating more space for more people to share. And so I want to share with you a little bit of magic as we enter this experience together. That I was up at 2 a.m. opening the Europe event with the dear World Breathing Day team. And as I went to bed, I was woken up by a loud sound. I went outside and I saw that the doves that had been hanging out this last week on the deck, sign of peace, if you will. This was the first time I saw this dove. They came and left an offering of branches. And I found that to be pretty wild. I don't know why that's launching. Give it a moment. Sorry about that. But there is, they brought the offering of branches. Well, I'm not able to show you the picture. I'll have to surrender. But this feeling of the breathe peace, having been stood for in Europe, and then wake up to a loud sound to go outside to see if, what it was, and then this, what a beautiful gift. And so this is where I'm fresh off of standing in Peace Council to bring with this energy of breathe peace, to tell you that lineages of different Native American lineages and otherwise came together just this last weekend, and we're standing for this. And so as you weave your energy today, as you weave with us, I'm just sharing where we, from whence we came. I also want to share with you a little bit about the IBF before we ground in some breaths and we hand it off to the amazing Benny Dansby. Look at this energy. This is the Global Inspiration Conference in Tenerife. This is the, whew, I get emotional even just looking at it because I've taken part in this. But to breathe together and to feel this energy is what we're here sharing today, because the breath doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a religion. The breath doesn't have a separating way. It is here to unite us. And once we realize this great power becomes available to all of us. And so as we anchor this opening together, I speak this word. that it is not your respiratory system. And that perhaps forever you can remember it is your respiratory system. Respiratory system, a reset to your connection to spirit and to your spirit, animating life through you. For those of you that are not breath workers, breath work and breath worker have been defined. I and a few colleagues, Jessica Dibb, Petri Bernson, and Jim Morningstar, two of which you'll hear from today, helped to define breathwork and breathworker as you see before you. I'll allow you to read it and let it hit your eyes before I go on. But the experiential field of study and practice that encompasses a variety of breathing techniques utilized individually and in groups to cultivate self-awareness and the enhancement of physical, emotional, cognitive, or spiritual well-being. And so I welcome those of you that may become breath workers, letting you know that this is a very important power on the planet right now. And in sharing this immense power, I'll probably get tapped into emotions and beyond them and into quite blissful, beautiful states today. And I invite you into that too. But what did John Lennon say to us? He said, get out there and get peace, think peace, live peace, and breathe peace, and you'll get it as soon as you like. I want to honor dear Robin Lawley, one of my team members that brought this about, and we helped to focus this theme, breathe peace. Honor you, my brother, as we create this opening together. And for those of you that don't know the International Breathwork Foundation, we're uniting and inspiring people through conscious breathing. This is a family of breath workers and change makers that every year meets at a different place in the world, creating what's called the Global Inspiration Conference. And so you will hear about that later. I will share this year it is in Kenya, and our wonderful, magnificent Vincent Olu will be hosting. What is peace? Peace is a state of harmony, calmness, and tranquility where there is no conflict, violence, or disturbance. To create peace, we need to work towards promoting mutual respect, understanding, and compassion among individuals and communities. And so when we breathe together, I tell you, we weave respect, we weave compassion, we weave understanding. And so this is the invitation today to heighten this come from in the way that you live, in the way that you be. When it comes to this concept of breathing peace in your life, there was the Oprah Winfrey quote. Wanting to share with you a very dear and powerful moment at the United Nations. Let's see if we can get this in and have a minute of breath at the end. Please have a listen. This is Brother Michael Beckwith, dear colleague of mine and brother in the Agape International Spiritual Center at the United Nations, sharing with the religious leaders of the world. Have a listen to what he says about breathing together. Oh, of course, they're going to give us an ad.
I was just going for a drive, which is wild because up until
wise words of Dr. Hans Kung, the professor of ecumenical theology and president of the Foundation of Global Ethics, support this premise that there will be no peace among the nations without peace among the religions, and there'll be no peace among the religions without dialogue among the religions. And today is our opportunity to participate with one another in such a dialogue and to spread that among all of us. And of course, peace is on two levels. There is a peace in which there is no conflict, but that's the surface level. And then there is the real peace. Real peace is the dynamic of harmonizing good. And so though science has turned this world into a wonderful, perhaps almost neighborhood, it is time for us to turn it into a spiritual brotherhood and a sisterhood by coming to understand the deep meaning of what I just mentioned, that peace is emanating from a dynamic insight and awareness. I want everyone to take a deep breath with me, right? Just take a deep breath and release. At that moment, you have met at the very center of your being. At that particular moment, you've met at the holy breath. At that particular moment, you're meeting at that which transcends religiosity, at that which transcends the external bounds of that which seems to separate us. If we are to really make of this world a sisterhood and a brotherhood, it means that we are to let our religions be a vehicle to the transcendent. That moment that we breathed together, we went out of the surface tension and into an awareness of the dynamic presence of God, compassion, love, wisdom, harmony, all synonyms for
being, that we actually begin to breathe together, very much like the dolphins and the whales.
That we begin to breathe together like the dolphins and the whales. Drunvalo Melchizedek shares. Brother Michael Beckwith saying peace is the force, the dynamic, the force of harmonizing good, the dynamic of harmonizing good. And that as we breathe together, we meet at the center. Let's take these next three breaths together. Let's actually stretch up, please, out of your shoulders. Decompressing, decompacting, which came before this moment. Even the thought of transcendence, the ego sometimes will create some tightness. And so stretch in any way your body wants to respect this stretch. Take a moment, roll the shoulders. Let us breathe in. Blow it out, give it away. Sweep your hands. We're going to anchor 3 breaths. Let's take this World Breathing Day right now, fire it off, and hand it over to Vinny Dansby. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Breathing peace in. Blowing it out, charging it with heart. And breathe it in. Exhale the H sound into the ground. Push your hands into Mother Earth. Bring the hands together, little bow of thanks to everyone as we meet at the center.